Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. We're taking a look at the 3A, ThreeZero Deluxe class Optimus Prime. This is from his appearance in the Bumblebee movie. So these are the quote-unquote smaller scaled versions of these figures. The premium scales are the ones that are between 15 and 20 inches tall. This guy, on the other hand, about 11 and a quarter inches tall. Made sure to have him standing as straight up as possible. So you can see there he comes with a stand, as well as a variety of hands, his blasters, instructions, a warranty sheet. I don't know why I have the warranty sheet out. I probably thought it was instructions or something like that. But one thing about this review, I don't have a deluxe scaled Bumblebee or a Blitzwing to compare it to. The Bumblebee sample that I got, it was being passed around between reviewers, so once my turn was done, send it off somewhere. Don't remember where, it doesn't really matter, but I don't have it. Blitzwing, kind of, the sample started going out as the, I guess, US part of 3A was shutting down, so I didn't get an opportunity with that one at all. That's why you don't see a review for it on this channel. I have reached out to ThreeZero, who's taken over a lot of this stuff, to see if maybe they had some samples I could at least buy so that I could photograph with this guy. But even if not, I appreciate the opportunity to review this, to have reviewed Bumblebee. You know, beggars can't be choosers in that respect. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of this guy, he does have an LED function, a really good one actually. Make sure I'm focused there. The button is right there on the top of the helmet. It's this piece here. It's actually in kind of deep, so be wary there. It's this part right here. That's an actual button. And the way you access it is, this comes off, and there's a battery compartment in there that comes out, and it's two LR44 or AG13 cell batteries. So LR44, AG13, whatever you call them, wherever you live, that's what you need. They're cell batteries, easy to find. Get them on Amazon, like 100 for $10. All right, and you guys have months, because I believe this doesn't come out until like late this year, early next year, or something like that. But let's go ahead and dig into this figure. All right, so given a roundabout of this guy, just wanted to give you guys a look at the details here. Really good, even wear on the rubber tires and all that. They don't spin or anything, but that spine in particular, man, it just gets me. And honestly, when it comes to just the finer details and stuff like that, I don't think there's a company that's really been beating 3A at this aspect. Now granted, they're working with the movie properties and things, which have a lot more detail than, say, the G1 cartoon, but still, man, it's something else. They just knock that weathering out. Detailing that I don't even normally like, they kill it with. Alright, so taking a look at the articulation. The head? Alright, so trying to keep this piece in place. Ball joint, lots of rock room. Can do a 360 kind of hard because of the shape of the helmet, but side to side, up and down, and you see there's a joint where the neck meets the clavicle. In fact, I'm going to bring the camera a little bit farther up and zoom in so you guys can actually see what's going on here. But there's even more articulation. It's like articulation on top of articulation. It all kind of works together. It's not loose, but it's made to work kind of seamlessly with each other. Because honestly, if you move your head, part of your neck's going to automatically move. A lot of toys just have you move the head independently of the neck and things like that, and that's not how it works. This is a lot more realistic in terms of function, so I actually appreciate it. Lots of rock motion and stuff like that. You can see just lots of play in the head area there, head and neck. Alright, now the shoulders, not a lot of moving out of the way of these shoulder pads themselves. A little bit of room in there, but we'll see how that affects anything. Alright, so even with that, he can get a full parallel outward swing, 360. And I mean, in terms of shoulder articulation, that's about it. Tons of butterfly though. So we'll put that in. In fact, we'll put the arms out to accentuate it. So that's when it's back, right? And then get some ab crunch in there too. Isn't that crazy? So we'll look at the ab crunch in a second there, but you can see he has a lot of that. Alright. 360 bicep swivel. Straight slit joint right there. Elbows, double jointed. Still doesn't go crazy far past 90, but past 90 degrees. And I like that it kind of extends outwards. So, if you look here at the bicep, right? This piece here, it actually goes inwards to reveal the second joint. It's cool. So that goes in, and boom. Second joint to keep things... It keeps it from not having an extended elbow joint, because normally the elbow joint would be down to there or whatever. But that helps make room for it. Really neat. Alright, zooming back out. This one actually has forearm swivel. Not full 360, but quite a bit, as you can see. Alright. So good stuff. Wrist, rock in every direction. 360. I mean, there's not really much more you can ask for there. Let's get this out. Now this part of the waist here, lots of side-to-side rock, a ton of side-to-side rock. And I like that it's actually sculpted all the way through, so you don't like do that and then all of a sudden there's this hollow part there. A lot of products do that. There is some, not quite 45 degrees, but a little bit. Let's look at that ab crunch, alright? So that's the backwards. And then that's the forwards. And look at all that. We talk about sculpted detail. The spine right there. Zooming in. I know I'm spending a lot of time on minor details, but those minor details are what makes this special. Focuses on a lot of stuff that maybe transforming toys and whatnot can't. And if you haven't noticed by now, this is a non-transforming item, so I understand there's that bandwagon, bandcamp, whatever the fuck, of people that say if it's not a transforming toy, it's not a real transformer. As stupid as that sounds, it's your right to your opinion. So keep it, but keep it where you are. Don't want to hear it in my comment section. Alright, moving on. The waist. It says in the instructions specifically to watch out for this cod piece, so I am. And I'm only taking it to about there and about there. Not quite 45 degrees, but yeah. And that cod piece doesn't have any movement to get it out of the way. Alright, now looking at the rest of the skirts there. Zooming in, there's a double ball joint. So there's a ball joint back there and there's another ball joint right here. So this ball joint can take it up, inward, outward some, but then that secondary ball joint gives it even more movement. Alright, so this can move far, far out of the way. These side ones can go up and down, pretty normal stuff. It extends outward a bit as well, which is cool. Back skirts come outward, single ball joint there. And we'll look at the default because these hips do have a drop function. Outward, okay? Not a lot of thigh swivel. So take a look. Boom, boom, not a ton, just because of the shape of the thigh and how it surrounds that big thigh joint there. So default, without the drop, even that's pretty damn high. And then backwards, alright? And make sure to swing it out so that this thigh detail doesn't hit that inner crotch detail in that taint area, okay? So let's look at that drop function. You could already see it right there. It's here to here. So you just take all that and drop it down. You see? And then, boom. And even more so, I'll pop that back in. Just popped off the ball joint, that back. Boom. Alright. Now continuing to move down his leg. I'm going to keep that off the ball joint for now. Just to continue showing you the articulation on this guy. Alright. So you've got that first knee joint there that goes out. And notice this area here. Some extending pieces. And then that one closest to the thigh. Alright. So again, 1, 2. Really good stuff. Alright. Let's look at the thigh, or the ankle tilt. So, outwards, inwards, you can see quite a bit. Look at the foot. There's forwards. This piece here really keeps it from doing a lot of backwards, but I'm not seeing separate articulation in the foot itself. Alright? So good stuff. Popping this piece right back onto the ball joint. And that's the articulation for this guy. But before I move on into the accessories and finish this up, a couple of tidbits I noticed about the LED function. Alright. So after you take this off to replace the batteries, right? This top part of the head. Get it off. There. There's a peg in the back of the head, and it's easy to find. It just goes straight down. Now, it seems like it's all the way on, but press it down until you actually hear a click. There we go. Because if you don't, this will be out of line where the button where the button is, so you won't be able to press it. And this is kind of deep inside. That's Chip doing Chip type stuff. All right. So back to what I was saying. Button's pretty deep inside of there. So I've noticed this top part is kind of the sweet spot to try to get it with your finger. If not, use something like a spudger and whatnot. And even right now, like, I can't quite click it. So rather than a spudger even. Alright, and I actually had to open him up and get the batteries readjusted. One of them had slipped loose, and that's why I was doing that clicking thing rather than staying on. And now, at least I was able to access it with my finger. So again, top part, if you have fingernails, you're going to be way better off on this one, but... And press it until you actually feel the click, or else it'll just kind of come on, and then come right off. Okay, and just looking at a pose here really quick. Quick landing pose. Pretty cool stuff. He cinches in really well. I dig it. I especially like it from the side there. That looks great. So raising the camera up some. Try to do at least one or two more things before we get you on your way. We've already got him kind of with one leg forward, one leg back. Not huge, but it's easy to transition into kind of a walking type deal. And he's got some really strong, heavy joints here. Alright, so we've already got that. I'm going to quote-unquote cheat and put his blaster into one hand. Now, I will say, if any of these poses and whatnot that I try fail, this is my first time trying to do it. But it seems to really hold a pose well, so I don't feel too nervous or whatever about attempting poses at least. Alright, so now I'm going to open hand there. Yeah, let's see how that looks on camera. I don't know, I don't really like it. I'm gonna raise him up some. Notice that back piece came off. Pop that back on. And that's one thing worth noting while handling this. They're not fragile or anything like that, but those back pieces, those back hip skirt pieces, if you try to grab them by the waist and accidentally get one of those gripped, they are likely to pop off. I think they're made kind of like breakaway pieces so that they fall off rather than just plain break, but they hold on pretty good. You have to like force them off, but since they're so close to the waist, they're easy to kind of clip with your hands and stuff like that. But there we go, nice walking pose. Now, what I'm doing, clipping this back piece off, since I know that's where that's supposed to go. Pegging them into the stand here. Making sure that's there. And this should actually come off. Boom. Alright, let let me see how to lock this. Alright, so I will say, right now, the stand, not very balanced for this figure. You really have to have him something like that, really high up for it to work, which is fine, but, you know, it'd be nice. But it's more of a testament to just how big and beefy this figure is, rather than, you know. Alright, so not trying to change too much here. Going with what we've got established, pose-wise, like what joints are where and whatnot. Put it downward some. Alright. And there we go. Again, this has been the 3A ThreeZero Deluxe Class Optimus Prime figure from his appearance in this year's Bumblebee movie. It's awesome. I believe that this is a mixture of plastic and die-cast. I didn't really feel any die-cast on the outside, but you can definitely tell from the heft in certain places that it's there on the inner frame and whatnot. Big, heavy piece, strong joints, awesome articulation and the like. I mean, it's just plain fun. Let you see the gun there while I'm heading you guys out or whatever. I'll give you a half butt pose. But yeah, I absolutely adore this piece. Hopefully I can get a Bumblebee again to go ahead and do some shooting with it, get a Blitzwing to maybe do some action scenes and whatnot, because obviously this is a treat to pose. I've got some dioramas and stuff if you looked at my Instagram, and if not, follow me on Instagram, Kuma Photos, Kuma_photos. But anyway, check out the full breakdown article and gallery of this piece and many more on kumastyle.com. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next review. Thanks.